Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Getting back to work on the MR2 in this video. Left off, I was getting things back together, got the car back on the ground, took it for its first test drive after doing all the suspension work and whatnot. So moving along nicely as far as all the little tips or the little bits and pieces I wanted to get done on this car go. So this video going to continue on with just a lot of like the little fine detail stuff that I'm trying to fix and make look a little better on the vehicle. So that being said, going to get the camera flipped around and get back to work. First thing I am going to mess with in this video has to do with this brace that I installed in the last video. Not happy with how it's sitting on the intake here. It's pushing down on it. So what I'm going to do is try and shim this up on both sides where it mounts to the strut tower and see if I can get a little more clearance for the intake tube. So what I did is I got a couple of flange nuts, and my thought is I can remove the existing brace and nut, install new flange nuts below because they're a little bit thinner, tighten those to spec, and then I can reuse the original ones on top possibly if there's enough thread. If not, I may have to get another pair of just shorter flange nuts because the thread on these doesn't start till about 1/8 to 3/16 into the actual nut housing. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything loosened up and start swapping stuff around and see what I can make work. So I planned to put the flare nut underneath and then the original nut on top did not work. There was not enough thread. So what I ended up doing was it's spaced up with about 4 washers on each side that I had. And then I used the new flare nuts, which are threaded all the way to the end versus the stockers, which have, like I said, like 3/16 of no thread. Put those in that way, reinstalled everything and retorqued it. It's still, you know, like I said, touching the intake tube. I'm going to see if I can mess around with the brace or the mount and everything for that intake tube and just kind of angle it down a little bit better so it's not rubbing as much. But yeah, just trying to do what I can and make this fit a little bit better with the engine and intake and everything. So I did go ahead and I loosened up both clamps, the one there and the one there, and did try and clock it a little bit better. I think I got a little more clearance out of it, but yeah, it's not moving that much and it's still touching. So I think that's the best I am gonna get it with the current setup. I really don't wanna mess with it too much more. It should be fine. It's not like it's gonna rub that bad or anything. The engine doesn't move that much on the side. And also down the road, I am really leaning towards getting the Frankenstein intake setup, which I think that'll change all the angles anyway and location of the air filter. So hopefully it'll be a non-issue at that point. So for now, I'm gonna say this is good enough and call that job done and on to the next. So next thing I want to address on this car is the headlight surrounds. And this is actually something I brought up in a video early last year when I was doing some restoration work on this car. And if you look, it's on both sides and it's the inside of the surrounds. It looks like it got bleached. Now I went ahead and I did try cleaning this off previously with like some mechanics wipes, soap and water, and it would not cut through this. And it is on both of them. And it was like this when I got the car. It didn't happen when it was painted or anything. So I was thinking that these were actually etched and bleached because it's just the plastic. Well, I went ahead and got trim paint and all the stuff to repaint these using the trim paint. And when I was testing to see what kind of plastic it was using an adhesion promoter, wiping that on etched right through it, or cut right through whatever this stuff is. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is remove the 2 surrounds, and I've got that headlight restoration kit, plastic polish kit. I might try and have a go at these with that and see if I can get these polished out and remove this run of whatever the heck is on these. So yeah, maybe they are not ruined or ruined as bad as I thought they were. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these removed and see what happens. All right, surrounds are removed. One big thing of advice when you're taking them off, make sure you have a good hold on the little screws, the 4 screws that hold the surrounds to the headlights, because if you drop one, you will be hunting for it forever. Ask me how I know. I dropped the one that goes in this spot here down, and yeah, it took a good half hour to find it. I ended up finding it underneath this panel after removing it. It was wedged between the condenser and the radiator. So just a little hint there. Be careful, don't drop it, or else you will regret it. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the surrounds and start polishing. So got my surrounds, and I'm gonna use my mother's new lens headlight renewal kit. This comes with a little abrasive ball, which is like your fine sanding, with some polishing compound, and then it also has multiple different sanding discs. I'm going to just try and hit it with the ball and the polishing compound and see if that will take this junk off. I don't want to go too abrasive if I don't have to, because I don't want to damage the trim surrounds. So I'm going to start with this. If that doesn't work, then maybe I will go to the least abrasive sanding disc and see if that cuts through it, but I'm hoping the polishing compound will do it. So I'm gonna get this thing set up on my drill and get to work. Quick update, I first hit this using the brush that came with the headlight kit and the headlight compound, and it really did not do much. I went and grabbed some Meguiar's Ultimate Compound with the same brush or sponge, foam pad, whatever you want to call it, and that looks like it is starting to cut through it a little bit. You can see, that's what it looked like all over, and that's starting to come off. So what I'm probably going to do is I've got a bunch of polishing pads and whatnot. I might grab some of those and some more abrasive compound and see if that will cut through this, and then I can polish it out once I've hit it with the abrasive compound. Update time. So sadly, the compound wasn't cutting it. So what I ended up doing was I had a small DA kit, and I grabbed a 600 grit pad, sanding disc, and put that on the drill and went over this with that. Good news is that definitely cut through and got rid of all the lines and whatever that material was. Now I need to go over and slowly work the polish back to it. So I've got 1,000, I think I've got a 2,000, I think I've got a 3,000, and then I've got compound. So I will be able to bring it back, but that's going to be a little bit more involved than I originally thought. So I want to give an update, show you where I'm at right now. I'm going to grab 1,000 and then 2,000 and see how it turns out. So here is where I am currently at. I went over this, like I said, with the 400, and then I hit it with 1,000 wet sand. That was the biggest I had on a disc. I did have a 3,000 grit that came with that headlight polishing kit, so I hit it with that, wet sanded it with that, and now I'm at the point where I'm starting to go over it with polishing compound and the wheel again. Right now I am using Chemical Guys V32, which is a pretty abrasive compound, just trying to make sure I start getting things smoothed out. I'll go with something nicer here shortly, but I was just trying to get an even blend of where I was sanding and whatnot versus what was the original texture of the surround. So I'm probably going to go over the whole surround with this first, just to try and make everything as uniform as possible, and then I can hit it with something a little bit more or a little less aggressive to make it nice and smooth and polished. So I'll be back once I am done. So here we are after I went over it with that 32 compound that I showed you previously, and then I cleaned the sponge foam pad thing and started hitting it with the headlight polish that came with that mother's kit I showed you at the beginning of this. And here's where we're at right now. Not perfect, but I mean, it looks pretty much like the other side looked when I started. There were always some sanding scratch or dirt scratches from age and whatnot, but it has really come along pretty good. I'm running into a little issue with right now the pad. I had to clean it out, and it's got a lot of water still in it. It hasn't dried, so it's not taking the compound perfectly. So like you can see there's a little area I need to work on where there's a transition, but I kind of need to let the pad dry a little bit better, and then I'll take the compound more. So I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I think it's going to look a heck of a lot better than seeing that when the headlights pop up. I mean, anybody who's just walking past it, and again, you're not going to have the headlights up very often, they're not going to notice any of these little imperfections that are here. They're, as long as they're not seeing that. So pretty happy. I'm going to let that pad dry, and then I'll probably hit it a little bit more, just see how it turns out, and then I can get to work on the other side and get this put back together. next day, so after coming out and looking at this, I just really wasn't that happy with the finish from yesterday. So what I ended up doing is taking the whole mindset of go backward to go forward. Previously I'd hit it with the 32 compound from Chemical Guys, and then was just trying to use the plastic polishing kit compound, and it was just really, really grainy, had a lot of flat marks, things like that. So what I did is I went back to my Chemical Guys kit, and I hit it with some 36, which is a pretty moderate cutting, but not quite as abrasive as the 32. And then I finished it off with the 38, which is a much more fine polish. The results, I think, are way better. Went over the whole thing. It's just a lot shinier in general. Got rid of a lot of the scratches it had. I mean, there's still some micro scratches in there, but like I said, previously those were there before. But it blended, where I had done work a lot better. And I think this is good enough. So pretty happy with this result. So now it is time to tackle the other one. And it's going to be the same thing. Should go a lot faster now that I know what plan of attack to take. I'm going to hit it with the 600, then the 1000, then the 2000, and then the 32, 36, and 38 polishing compounds. I believe that's what they were. So yeah, that's the plan. I am going to get to work on the other one, and I'll come back once that's done. One real quick update before I get started on the other surround for the driver's side. I noticed this side marker light was out, so I went ahead and replaced the bulb. It is a 194. I use a long life from Slovenia. To get to it, you can either take out the fender liner. I didn't want to jack this thing up, take the wheel off, all that stuff. So basically, I removed the headlight and I was able to get my arm down barely in this crevice here, and reach the socket, which is hidden down there, pull it out and replace the bulb. It is a tight fit, but it is possible versus taking everything apart. So I'm gonna go ahead, put the bulb back in, and then get to work on the surround. All right, finished up getting that all put back together. So I'm gonna get started on the driver's side surround. And just for reference, this is what I am starting with. So this is the driver's side one. I'm gonna go ahead and, similar to the other side, go through the different sanding discs to get this stuff off and then polish it back to make it look nice. I will be back once all is said and done. Everything is reinstalled after being cleaned up. There you can see the driver's side, which that previously had all of that crud on it. And the passenger side, same thing. Looks so much better. That was definitely worth the time. Get rid of that crap. You didn't really see it too bad unless the hood was up, but you did still see it if you looked down the crack when the hood was down and the headlights were down, or obviously if the headlights were up, you would definitely see it. So very, very happy with the results. So I think that is gonna wrap up this video. So I'm gonna end this one here. It's gone on long enough. I don't really want to start another project and make it a 20+ minute video. So I'm gonna finish it here. Next video, not sure what it'll be on. I actually have some work to do on my wife's RDX, as well as work for the Jeep, and I still have projects for the MR2 and the Cobra. So there will definitely be something posted next week, just not sure which car will be on. Wednesday I'll post a short just giving you an update where things are at. So if you want to follow along, if you like what you're seeing, please hit like, please hit subscribe, please hit the notification bell. It does make a difference if you subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, gets my videos out there. If you have any questions or comments on anything you've seen here, please leave them in the comment section below. I will read them and I will reply. And that being said, thank you very much for watching and have a great day.